Are you riding motorcycles?
Do you want to hit the track?
Then you might want to check this out. Disclaimer, racing is not cheap.
To start racing, of course, it begins with your outfit. So you need a helmet, you need a suit, you need gloves, you need boots. If you compare racing to football, of course it will never be the same, because for football you only buy your shoes, your shirt. For racing you need a little bit more. Of course it's expensive, but if you compare it to the more expensive track days with the big track bikes, this is definitely the most cheapest way to race. Yeah, there are different ways to buy your gear. You can buy everything new, or you can do it like Joost did this year.
I just bought everything second hand. So I bought my suit from Marktplaats.
It's eBay kind of thing in the Netherlands.
The Dutch eBay.
It's not very smart to buy everything new, because yeah, when you start racing you definitely will crash and you will damage your gear. And if you buy a 1200 euro suit, you maybe feel a little bit more sad about it compared to a 150 euro suit that you can crash and think, okay, let's crash again.
And you will crash.
Yeah, you will crash.
Another important part if you're gonna go racing is transport, because you're going to need to get the bike there and to get yourself there. So we recommend just find a van, look at your family, look at your friends. Maybe they have a trailer or something.
Buy a cheap van banger just to hit the track.
Almost everything is possible, and even if you're out of ideas, Camilo had that once. And what did you do? Yeah,
in the beginning that I started pit biking, I didn't have a van or a trailer to transport the bike, so I took the front wheel out and pushed the bike in the back of my Volkswagen Golf. Pretty small car, but it worked.
So another important part is also don't forget that gasoline will cost you something. It's also an expense there.
So yeah, the most important question is why a pit bike? To start with the pit bike, you don't need much, you don't need a lot of space, you can store it quite easy. The bike itself is very cheap, the parts are very cheap. And also one very important thing about this is that the track days are very cheap. So you can go training for around 40 euros. And a full race day will cost you around 85 euros in the Netherlands, but maybe in other countries the same. So that compared to big track days is very cheap. Another very important part of riding pit bikes is you can crash the bike and there will not be many damage. Sometimes you bend something, but yeah, it will never cost you the same as on a big track that when you crash your bike you maybe wreck it.
It's destroyed.
Destroy it, yeah. Now you crash, maybe you bend the things back and go further with racing. Yeah, it doesn't matter, and it makes it way more fun because you're not scared to destroy the bike. The only thing you're scared of is because you're going fast, and that's the thing that makes it so much fun, and that's also why you learn so much about with it. So the bike new costs around 2,400 euro, but yeah, that's when you buy it new, or you can do it like Joost this year.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it new. I bought it also second hand, just like the rest of all my stuff. And I bought this bike for 1,600 euros back then, and I had a whole year of fun.
You crashed a lot?
I crashed a lot with it, and what you said, only small parts break off. I think the worst part was my steer that was bent, but you just buy a new steer for...
Okay, how much did you pay for all the damage? This one full year of racing.
Full year of damage, not more than 200 euros.
To start racing you will need a license. In the Netherlands it costs 90 euros for 1 year, or 15 if you buy it separate. So if you're not sure you're gonna race the full year, you will pay 15 euros extra for your license. Tires you need tires, but the tires we use are very durable, so we change them once a year, and it was €150 for a set. And rain tires. You can check if you can buy them new or used. They are quite hard to get used. You bought them used, but if you're a beginner and might only want to hit the track with dry weather, it's not really necessary, so it's extra. So it's maybe a side note that you can spend your money on rain tires and a set of rims, but yeah, it's not necessary. And of course, when you go training, the license is also not necessary.
Moment of truth.
When you buy everything new, to start with, your gear, helmet, suit, boots, gloves, it will cost you around €1,250 if you take an average price for new gear. The second thing, pit bike, €2,400. Tires, so for 2 sets of slicks, €300. A set of rain tires, including the rims and brakes, it will cost you €600 new. Fuel to transport your bike to the track, so for your van or car, €400 for a full season. It depends a little on how far you will need to drive, but an average of €50 per race day. Parts, when you crash it or maybe you need some new brake pads or something, €200. License for a full year of racing, €90. And the last one, entry fee for race days. So it will cost you €85 per race day, and for a full season of 8 race days it will cost you €680. So the total amount for everything new for a full year of racing is €5,920. But that's when you buy it new, and you can do it like Joost and get all the parts used and everything used. And how much will that be?
So if you buy everything like I did, we're gonna do the same thing as you did. So we start with the gear, and the gear was €400 in total. Pit bike was €1,600. Also got a set of slick tires, but when I bought the bike there were already good tires on there. So for a year it was €150. I bought a set of rain tires, €400. Parts you buy during the year, same as Camido, so also €200. And also the other costs like the license and the registration costs are also the same, so those were also €90 and €680. Total for me then was €3,620. But what also a lot of people forget is that you can also sell your pit bike after your race year. So did I, and I sold my...
How much did you sold it?
I sold it for €1,500.
So actually you used your bike the whole season for €100.
For €100 plus the 200 for all the little things, but...
Okay. So if you take the total amount and reduce it with the sold bike, how much is it then?
Then it will be €2,120. I don't think that's a lot, and it's more than half.
And would you recommend others to do it?
For sure, yes. Especially if you want to start with racing. I started racing this year. I had 0 experience, but this was the best way to do it.
So to finish this video, we have one final thing we want to say to you guys. If you really want it, do it. Don't overthink, just start doing it. If you think you don't have enough money, make sure you will get the money. So start in thinking how I can get the money instead of why I cannot have the money. So make sure you will fight for it. Maybe skip one night of drinking, because drinking, yeah, how much do we spend on one night drinking? A lot.
If you're still here, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we see you on the track.